We've already defined what a contraction is, but now I want to get into the nitty-gritty when it comes to what a real contraction feels like and how to time them. First, what is a contraction? Your uterus is a muscle, and like all muscles, it can tighten or contract. When the uterine muscle tightens, this is called a contraction. And contractions usually start at the top of the uterus. And what do they feel like? The best way to describe it is that they feel like intense menstrual cramping, and they come on like waves. They start off small or mild and gradually increase in intensity until they reach a peak, after which they slowly come back down to a resting place. When contractions start, they may be mild, short, and irregular. Some people report first feeling the pain in their back, or that it starts in the back and works its way to the front. As labor progresses, though, these contractions become longer, stronger, and more frequent, and eventually you will have trouble walking or talking through them. Lots of people ask me, how will I know the difference between Braxton Hicks and the real thing? Remember, Braxton Hicks are irregular, infrequent, and fairly mild. They usually occur less than 8 times in an hour for about 20 to 30 seconds, and they usually go away when you rest, change positions, or drink some water. Real labor contractions do not go away. Instead, they will change over time, becoming longer, more frequent, and painful. They will also cause your cervix to efface and dilate, so you might notice some pink, red, or brown discharge. And if your water breaks, that's definitely a sign those contractions are real. Along with Braxton Hicks, though, there's something else to be mindful of: false labor. In false labor, a woman experiences fairly regular contractions that are more painful than Braxton Hicks, but do not become stronger, longer, or more painful, and don't result in cervical change. Some women even experience these contractions for weeks before real labor begins. How do you help decipher false labor from real labor? Start timing those contractions. By timing your contractions, you'll be able to see if they're becoming longer and more frequent. Timing contractions can also help you and your support person know when it's time to head to the hospital if you're laboring at home. When you first start timing, your contractions may be happening 15 to 20 minutes apart, lasting for about 30 to 60 seconds. But you'll notice over time that they become more frequent, happening maybe every 10 to 15 minutes, then eventually every 2 to 3 minutes. They will begin to last longer, going from 30 to 60 seconds in length to 60 to 100 seconds in length, and many women have a 2 to 3 minute break in between. But of course, these are just general guidelines. Every woman's labor pattern is different, so don't be alarmed if your pattern doesn't align with the ones I've outlined here. When timing contractions, count from the beginning of the contraction to the beginning of the next. Write down the time each contraction starts and its duration, or count the seconds the actual contraction lasts. So if you start feeling a contraction at 9:30, write down the start time. If your next contraction started at 9:35, then the frequency of your contractions is 5 minutes apart. To measure the duration of your contractions, you could use a stopwatch, starting when you first feel the contraction through when you no longer feel it. I usually recommend delegating this task to your birthing partner if possible, so they can become more aware of how the labor is progressing. There are also apps you and your partner can use to help you time. All right, so you or your support person are diligently timing those contractions, but how do you know when to head to the hospital? Use the 411 rule as a guideline. You may be in labor, and you should call your provider if you are experiencing contractions every 4 minutes, lasting for 1 minute, and has been occurring for at least 1 hour. You should also call if your contractions are becoming difficult to walk and talk through. But like I've been saying, all labor and birth experiences are different. So if at any time you feel like a call to your provider is necessary, don't hesitate. You got this. There are so many great tips and techniques to help you cope with, and dare I say, even enjoy your labor and birthing process. Let's get started.